Greetings, people. This is a video review of La Maison de l'Écurie, the stable house, on the Canal de Jonction, where it meets with the Canal du Midi, just outside of Salelles-d'Aude in the southwest of France. If you enjoy this review, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you prefer a written review, I do have a piece on my blog, www.southfranceamerican.com, all one word, southfranceamerican.com. Let's get to it. We went to the Maison de l'Écurie, the stable house, because a friend had said that it had a really good rum baba for dessert, and the friend knew that Kathy really enjoyed rum baba. So we went and we had rum baba for dessert, and it was a really good rum baba, so we're glad that we went. But the rest of the meal was good too, and here's the story. The restaurant is on the Canal de Jonction, just outside of Salelles-d'Aude. We go through Argelier, through Mirepessé, I think is how it's pronounced. And as you come to the canal heading into Salelles-d'Aude, you take a left-hand turn onto the towpath, and then you have to park, because you have to park about 150 meters before you get to the restaurant. So the restaurant's quiet with a nice view of the canal across the towpath. In fact, there are a couple of tables that are right next to the canal on the other side of the towpath. The terrace is covered, kind of vine covered, and I guess there are Christmas lights up there too at night. They serve lunch and dinner, and it's just a nice, pleasant space. We were about the first to get there. It filled with about 5 or 6 Brits who apparently were boat people, several French groups, a family of 3, a group of young people of 4 or 5, another French couple, and then the Americans came. And unfortunately, the Americans were pretty obnoxious and sort of made a mess of things for a little while, and then they left, and everybody breathed a sigh of relief. And I shouldn't really talk about it because I'm an American too, but I'm not that kind of American. The truth is, ugly Americans still exist, and a couple of them found their way to the Maison de l'Écurie, and too bad, because the place is really nice. The people were the server, and there was a server and a cook, I think just the 2 of them. The server was very attentive without being obnoxious. He kept our water full. He brought the second demi of wine when we asked for it. The meal was a leisurely meal, as French are. French meals are. French restaurants don't push you out. We were probably there for somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours, and felt very comfortable taking that amount of time to be leisurely over a fine meal. Kathy and I started with a tapas plate, fairly large. It was called the large tapas plate. That was a 10 euro tapas plate. There's an individual tapas plate for 6 euros, but we took the 10 euro tapas plate and shared it, and it was plenty for the 2 of us, with little bits of sausages and little bits of pâté and other cheeses and other things that were just a good little assortment of starts. Connie started with a combination plate of terrine de campagne, pâté de campagne, and a terrine that combined rabbit with prunes, and both were very interesting. They came with a little sort of sauce, a little fruit sauce, and she enjoyed them, and I had a taste of the one that was with rabbit, and that was very good, and I enjoyed that as well. So good starts. There's a comprehensive menu. It's on slates. There are 3 or 4 or 5 different pizzas. Kathy chose a pizza, to my surprise, a 4 fromage, 4 cheese pizza that looked homemade, an interesting little crust, and Kathy enjoyed it, and they wrapped it up because she didn't finish, and put it in aluminum foil, and we took it home with us. I had something that I'd never had before after 4.5 years of France. I had a lamb shank confit. I hadn't had lamb confit before, duck confit all the time, but I hadn't had lamb confit before. It was very moist, very tasty. Lamb here tastes like lamb, and I really did enjoy it, and good frites on the side. Connie had something that was close to Thai sticky ribs. It was kind of a beef short rib, and it kind of had a Thai sticky rib taste to it. I don't know if that's what they were trying to get to, but that's where they got to. And Connie enjoyed it very much, and I enjoyed the taste too, and it's something that I might try the next time I go, because I will go back. For dessert, the 3 of us shared a nice portion of rum baba, and it was a really good rum baba. It was one of the best that we've ever had. For the 3 of us, plus a 1.5 liters of rosé, plus a coffee or 2 at the end, it came to 83 euros and change, about 27.5, 28 euros per person, which is a little bit more than we generally spend, but for the place where it was and the quality of the food and just the pleasant overall atmosphere, it was certainly well worth the freight. In places like this, where you have just such a beautiful place, a beautiful view, and a pleasant atmosphere, places like Minerve, the villages that have spectacular views. The restaurants there are generally only as good as they have to be, only as good as they need to be, because all that you want when you have this beautiful view is decent food. So they're only as good as they have to be. Either that, or they're too expensive. They're more expensive than they should be. In this case, this restaurant, although a little bit more expensive than sort of your standard formula luncheon, this restaurant was as good as it should be. It was good food in a good place at a good time, and they're closed from November 4th and reopen on March 1st. So by the time you hear this, they may be closed because I'm doing this at the end of October. Come back in March when they will reopen, and I don't blame them for not being open in the middle of winter in the south of France, because even though it's not snow-filled and sleety, it is kind of cold and gray, and I don't believe there are any indoor tables at the Maison L'Écurie, the stable house. I think that they're all out on the terrace. So go in good weather, go after March 1st or before November 4th, and you'll have a fine meal. I enjoyed it, and I recommend it highly.